Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you that do not know me, my name is Francis and I am about to start some winter sowing. This is going to be my first time having a garden, and I figured winter sowing would be a great way to start. Now, for those of you that do not know what winter sowing is, let me give you a little bit of information. Winter sowing is basically you plant all of your seed that grow during that winter season, and you let it grow in this container. And now what most people use to start winter sowing is in a container that now we'll have a clip that's in here to show you exactly what I'm talking about. But anyway, what it does is it acts as a greenhouse. It keeps your seedlings protected from the cold. Now during this time, you actually is getting your seedlings ready to be hardened off in order to plant during the spring. So like I said, I will post a clip showing you what to do, how to do it, and I will actually tell you what all you would need in order to do it. So for those of you that's actually starting out the way I am, it's the first time, winter sowing will be a great place to start. So I just won't just be spending money just to spend it, just in case if I don't like it. I have a feeling I will, but in this case, I'm not quite sure. So with that being said, let's get right to how to start your winter sowing. Okay, these are the things that you will definitely need in order to get started. First and foremost, a soldering iron, or you found to put the holes in the bottom, or you can use a knife or a blade, or even some scissors to put holes in the bottom and to cut your container. And you would need a marker, some labels, and of course, your seeds. Okay, what I have here, I have my potting mix, and as you can see, this is pretty dry. This is moist as possible. You don't want it dripping wet, but you want it wet enough so that way it stays. So it's gonna be outside and you wanna make sure that it stays moist. So with that being said, I'm going to take some water and mix this all up. Okay, now this is what we were looking for. You want to be able to have it that it's hold, once you squeeze it in your hand, that it holds its moisture in a ball. But if you squeeze it real hard, you don't get a lot of liquid falling from it. So, okay, now as you can see inside here, I place a coffee filter over the hose, and the reason why I did that is because it's still going to give it drainage, but because I'm putting it in, I'm not sure if I'm going to put it in the grass or on my patio itself, but I have heard that people say that they have been getting slugs in their containers, which was eating up their plants. When they open up, they would see that the container had, the plants had been chewed on. So I wanted to make sure that I didn't have that problem. And anyway, you want to make sure you have at least 3 inches of soil that's in here, and you want to make sure that it's how would I say, packed, not super packed, but packed enough so there's no air pockets in the soil. I mean, in the the soil itself, so that way when you do plant your seeds, it will grow. And I'm gonna make a couple of these, and then I'll come back and okay, we are back, and I actually have set up all of my things, and I'm getting ready to do some seeds. As you can see, these are the seeds that I'm going to do. These are the yellow spinach onion, and I also have this labeled. And I am going to, because I went and labeled practically all of them, take this one off. And I'm also put today's date, which is 1-17. So that way I know when I started it, what it is, and I'm going to also do something different. I'm going to put this stick is going to separate my onions, because I'm actually going to do two. I'm going to do the red onions, and which is a red burgundy, and I'm going to do both of these in the same thing. So I want to be able to know which is which. So I'm going to put this in here to separate my ones that I have. So put both of these together like this, and then this is going to go on one side, which is this side is going to be my yellow onions. And the reason why I'm putting these on the inside, and I'm also going to label the outside, just in case if the sun fades them, and that way I will still know what I'm actually growing. And I probably should have marked the size on each one, but it really doesn't matter. So again, today is 1-17, and that looks like a 9. Oh, well, still like a 9. So anyway, 1-17, and I'm going to place this on this side, closer to this side. Put the top back on here so it doesn't dry out. And what I'm going to do, because I'm using a lot of onions, I want to make my own onion powder and things. Okay, we're going to open it this way. So I want these, and these are going to be the bud onions. So once they do germinate, then I will be taking them and thinning those out. I will bring you back once all of this happens. Let me do this because I am not getting, there you go. And I'm show you just how small these onions are. And I don't want this to get spilled any, so let me fold that real quick. Okay, as you can see how small these onions seeds are. So I'm just going to take these, and it'll tell you on the back how deep. It says seed 1/4. Can you see that? Make sure I'm in there. So in the sun, I know it's here. So anyway, it's telling you how deep it is and how much you should separate them. Once I'm sowing these now, I'm not worrying about that. I want to get as many as I possibly can to germinate. So I'm going to drop all of these in, and once they start to germinate, I will separate them to, just in case if they don't, any does not do, I will separate them, and then I will plant them according to what the direction says. So that was the yellow. Now I'm going to do, and by the way, I got this from M.I. Gardner. These are the red ones. And these I got from Epic Gardening. So, and I think these was $2 and something, and I think those were, I think about 3. So, but if you can find onions in the dollar store, Dollar Tree, Dollar General, so we do about the same with this. I'm going to take this and just sow this like so, and then I will put some soil on top. Like I said, I am doing quite a bit of onions, so, and let me put some soil on to make sure I don't lose any of those. Okay, I have my soil right here, so I'm just going to take this and sprinkle this on top to make sure that it stays on its side. Kind of pat it down to make sure that all the seeds has contact with the soil. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. Pull this up. I don't want them too far down in there. Okay. And make sure all of the seeds are covered and giving them contact. Now I'm going to use my water bottle because I don't want to root my seeds or anything. So I want to make sure that the topsoil is wet, nice and wet. And turn this around. And do the same thing over here. Make sure that we are not soaked in wet, but enough to keep the germination, keep it so it should germinate. And I'm going to place this back on top, and I'm going to sit it right now over here, and I'll show you after I'm done. All right, so we're going to start with my next one, and that's going to be my peppers. Well, actually, I'm going to finish up with my onions. These are going to be my next onions because, like I said, I want to do quite a few onions. So these are going to be my next one, and I'm going to do the same thing with that. I'll show you one more time. I know you guys don't want to sit and watch me do all of this. So, like I said, I'll show you again. And I'm going to make sure that you take the top off of these. Those can be thrown out, so we're not going to worry about the top. So my next onions would be, okay, yeah, it's going to be these right here. These are another bulb onions. I make sure I put the date, today's date. I already have them written on here. I didn't put the date on it because I wasn't for sure what date I was going to do all of this. So where's my shears? And we're going to cut this. So we're going to start off basically doing all of these about the same. Like I said, I want quite a bit of onions. And again, we are putting the stick to separate those two. And we're going to put on this one. Make sure you use the right one. But let me put the date on here before I forget. And I didn't label that container. We want to label your containers also. And this is 1-17. Okay. And we're going to put the date over here. And let's do this one on this side. I'm going to put it over this side here. 1-17. And we're going to place. I'm dropping seeds. I see it though. But we're not going to worry about that. And we're going to place this over on this side. And we're going to sow these seeds here. Okay, so now we got those over there. Close this up. We're going to get our next one, which is these particular one. And these are heirlooms again. In my gardeners where I purchased them from. And I made me a journal so that way, a planner, so that way I can kind of keep up with where I purchased my seeds, who I purchased them from, how much they cost. But also, once you grow your stuff, you can start saving your seeds. So letting your onions grow into seeds so they can dry out, and so you can start saving your own. And I think that's what I'm going to try to do. Okay, so we already have that. And then we're going to take our soil and place it on top of these and pat them down. Make sure that they got connection with the soil. There's no air pockets. We want to make sure that our roots are really nice and strong when they start growing. And I'm just spraying. I don't want to get it crazy wet, just enough to make sure that we keep the moisture in. All right, and you don't want to get your seeds wet also, by the way. You want to keep them, and I'll show you what I'm storing them in right now, but I have a general idea on what I want to use later, and I'll show you that. All right, so I have this one, and I'm going to take the date and put it on here. I'm going to actually put what I have on here on the outside, so that way you'll be able to know. I'm just going to put onions on. Okay, this one here is the day's date, because the thing going to stay on the inside anyway. So I'm just going to put onions. So on in, and that way I know that there's onions that's planted in here. And what we're going to do after we do that, I have some tape that I have already pre-cut and on the table. You want to take your tape, and I'm going to start it from this side here, from where my hinge is. And you want to start taking it and taping it up. So that way, this is going to give it a greenhouse effect, so that way it will stay nice and warm on the inside. And we are going to take them and put them out in the yard. In my case, for right now, I'm sitting it in on the back patio. And as you can see, you can pick this up and carry it from here. If you need to check, you want to come out and check, and you can find out the difference, how light it is, whether you can feel it needs more water or anything. We're supposed to get rain tomorrow, so this should be more than enough. And like I said, I'm going to sit it out so that way it can start to maybe get some sun. So that way you can get some sun. Now I'm going to keep doing this. So that way I will have plenty. This is going to be my last bunch of onions. And this one is going to be by itself. These are bunching onions. And I know I'm going to use a lot of these in salads and things like that. So I'm going to make this whole container all bunching onions, because also you can take these and put them, plant them around your plants. And the deer, of course, and the rabbits, squirrels do not like them. So that way they will deter them from coming into your garden and eating up your precious plants. Okay, now I'm going to continue doing this, but I'm showing you this last one, and then I'm going to finish up the rest. But you're going to do the same procedure, just with different seeds, and follow what the instructions is on the back of your package. So you want to follow your instructions on the back of your package, so you'll know how to. So you want to make sure you save these things or write them down, so you'll know exactly how deep to plant them and whatever when you need to pot them. I have more tape, so we're going to use that to get this started. And the reason why I put them on the inside, I feel the sun won't fade them, so I would have more. I would know exactly what it is. This what I'm using is a permanent, what they call it, a paint pen. It's a Sharpie paint pen, I guess. It's just a marker. And I got this from Amazon. Today's date is 1/17. So I'm going to put that on the inside so I'll know exactly what that is. And let's try this again. I'm going to start from this side. And let's go with this one. And as you can see, my cutting is horrible, so as long as you cut it and get it on there, that shouldn't matter. I'm putting this tape, because I'm using the same tape I had. Not trying to throw away anything. And I need another piece to make sure this is totally covered. And here we go. Alrighty, and I will be back. Okay, this is the potting mix. Let's see, can I get it? That I used, and this is all of the winter sowing that I have done so far. That's not my dog. It just, I guess she just decided to come and join in the video. But this is my backyard. This is actually where I was going to do all of my gardening, but I decided to put it out there because it gets more sun.